let's get into our recent activities. We'll start off with Mario 3D World. So,
Yeah.
I'll let you go first, real quick, and then give it to me before you splurge on everything.
Okay. So it's really good. I mean, obviously, I really like 3D World in general. I think as I've played more 3D platformers recently, I think I've been really starting to like more level-based 3D platformers. I mean, I kind of
hmm
count Galaxy in that camp at this point, since a lot of the stars are very linear with a tighter level design. Like everything feels a lot more creative since you could do a bunch of crazy stuff on like more open world, like sort of 3D platformers like Banjo-Kazooie or like what do you call it? I guess Mario Odyssey even, like
hmm
where Odyssey has more open-ended level design, but I feel like the platforming isn't as tight as it is in like Galaxy and even in 3D World. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it again. The base game itself is super fun. I think they fixed where you have to get a like the top of a flagpole and everyone. I don't think you need that for 100% anymore. I hope not, because I'm trying to get 100% in this game because I don't think I did that in the Wii U version because of the you needed everyone to have the golden flagpole. Maybe they did. I don't know. They probably do, honestly. But right now I'm really enjoying it. But obviously I spend most of my time playing Bowser's Fury. But I want to get Travis's opinion on just the base game itself before I really go into that.
Oh yeah, the base game was the first thing I actually started. I didn't touch Bowser's Fury until yesterday. But yeah, Mario 3D World, I had expectations going into it that I was still gonna enjoy it, and I still did. I played the first world by myself, and then our friend Kofi decided to join in on me after that. And when I told him that we shared lives, he instantly suicided, and we lost a life. And I was like, I hate this guy. Why did I tell him that I was playing this game? I should have just said that I was browsing Twitter. But anyways, Mario 3D World. I never played it with multiplayer, so that's pretty much like most of my experience with it. I played it with Kofi. And yeah, I mean, it's still super duper fun. The different characters and their different attributes, I think, still is like a very key factor for this game. So like I like playing as Mario just because he's the all around character. Playing as Luigi, he's too slippery. His fucking jumps weird. Playing as Peach, like she is like the easy mode, but I feel like her hover should be a little longer just to make her like that much OP. And then Toad's just like super fast with like a really
Really
shitty
fast.
jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just like Mario because he's just the all around character. But overall, playing it is still really, really fun. I still get a kick out of, just like playing through each level. The side scrollers me and Kobe sucked dick on. I'm going to be honest. We were really, really bad because we're trying to get everything on like our first run. And, sometimes when it's like an obvious like star and we miss it, I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to restart, whatever. But I definitely started trolling and like messing up at the end, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, still overall, I'm only like 3 worlds in. I think I have to start on the 4th one soon. But yeah, Super Mario 3D World. I don't know why a lot of people have been recently coming out and saying that like this is a bad 3D Mario game and stuff like that. But I mean, I think it still holds up. It came out like what 2017 or something like that. I
No,
think it.
what 3D World?
Yeah, 3D World. I think it came out
3D
like
World came
20.
out 2013.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
man,
it's
I'm
very
old.
old.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
hold on. I just remembered. Yeah, 2013. Because I recently looked at my video that I did on that game. Holy shit! Do not watch that video. But yeah, it did come out in 2013. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, this game is really old and it's still really, really good. So.
I kind of just want to bring up. I honestly think people should give this game another shot if you didn't like it before, because I
hmm
think with Odyssey existing now, I think it's more easy to appreciate 3D World for what it is and what it isn't. You know what I mean? Like,
hmm
it's meant to be more harkened back into. Obviously, it takes from 3D Land, obviously, because like a direct sequel to that. But it's supposed to be more like a classic Mario, but with 3D Mario elements into it. And I think it blends it really well, while still having that very like Super Mario Galaxy design that I really really like, since Galaxy went into like my favorite Mario games. So I
hmm
just like love 3D World just as much as those games. And again, with Odyssey existing, you have your open world Mario game now with your more linear level based one. And I think it's just easier to appreciate 3D World now that Odyssey exists. And yeah, again, like the creativity in this game is just fantastic. Like so many levels are just so creative, so vibrant. Obviously the double cherry pass is so like a really good level. All the
hmm
cat like Suit Mario focus levels are really fun. Yeah, the level like varieties is super great. The game is still really gorgeous. Music is banging, dude. I love it. And yeah, I just the base Mario 3D World is fantastic. I still highly recommend it, especially if you've never played it before. So yeah.
Yeah, even for $60.
Okay,
So
well, maybe not for $60, but I'll get into that when I talk
all
about the
right,
other thing.
so Bowser's Fury, what'd you think
Yeah.
about the was it like 3 to 4 hours or something like that?
It took me like 6 hours to 100% the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
so a lot longer than I thought it was gonna take me. Honestly, I know I'm a little slow when it comes to things because I like to look at every single thing. I play games
Yeah.
pretty slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably beat it in a little shorter, but for me, it took me 6 hours to 100% the whole thing. And I thought it was really, really good. I think this was a great sort of like fusion of like 3D World plus Odyssey to make it its own like sort of 3D Mario experience.
Mm-hmm.
Where in this one it sort of works like I guess it's kind of hard to describe since it kind of works like Mario 64 plus Odyssey because
Mm-hmm.
you have your giant open world, right? Sort of like your Peach's castle, right? Where you have shines all throughout like the castle and you got to find them. And this one you got to find them all throughout the island. But you also have these smaller islands that act sort of like the worlds in like Mario 64 or even in Odyssey where you have like the bomb battlefield, you have like 5 stars to find. It works the same way except it's in a way smaller scale where you have this tiny island and that tiny island inside the big island has like 5 shines in it. So then you
Mm-hmm.
would do those levels and get all the shines in that particular island. And I think it works really well. There's no loading screens, there's no downtime. You just keep getting shines, and it feels good. Each shine feels like it has a purpose. Unlike Mario Odyssey, where I feel like each moon kind of feels pointless after a certain extent because there's just so many of them. I
Mm-hmm.
think this one brings it back more into the original 3D Mario's, where each star feels meaningful. Like, you actually have to do something to get it. You don't just like follow a dog and then get a moon, or you just jump around and get a moon. You know what I mean? That's what kind of made me down on Odyssey a little more than other people. Like, I think Odyssey is still a great game, but there's
Mm-hmm.
just too many goddamn moons. And I think Bowser's Fury really fixed that issue while still keeping that open-ended level design that makes Odyssey so good. But it also has that type level design of Galaxy, where each island feels very focused on what it wants to do, and it has those specific challenges like Galaxy did. So it's honestly a great fusion of both of like all of what 3D Mario has done, and I would love to see this in a bigger scale. Honestly, it really impressed me, and I really didn't expect that either. It came off as really impressive. It didn't feel phoned in as just like an extra little thing they could add. And yeah, it honestly makes the game a little more worth it to buy if you've already played it before. I think $60 is still a little too much. Maybe it should have been 50. But Bowser's Fury was honestly a very quality thing. And obviously you have the giant kaiju fight. It's fun. It's nothing more than like a gimmick. Not gimmick, but it's kind of just like whatever. It's fun. But yeah, it's not like the main selling point. The main selling point is basically a 3D Mario. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's pretty much a fusion between 3D World and Mario Odyssey, and I feel like that this was a stepping stone for Nintendo to be like, hey, like maybe we should just like make this a whole game, and then that turned into Odyssey, or maybe they did it backwards or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how Bowser's Fury came to be, but just playing through it, just like exploring the mini islands, sort of trying to figure out how to get each sort of cat shine or whatever. I was having a good time, just like exploring, going through the world, doing the little challenges. One of the ones that I was stuck on for a while was you have to go into a boot and you have to get like the blue coins or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one had me stuck on for a bit because if you mess up once, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Yeah.
So, but that one was definitely like challenging and really, really fun to do as I was like listening to like podcasts and like watching YouTube videos. And yeah, like just overall, I think that Bowser's Fury is a very good addition to it. And you could also set how much you want Bowser Jr. to sort of help you. So for example, for me, I had him be a little bit to see exactly what he would do within, the gameplay because, I don't want him to help none because then I wouldn't get any of that. And I don't want him to help him too much because I'm not that bad at Mario games, I think. So, he was there, he just like hitting enemies. And I think that having Bowser Jr., obviously story in Mario games doesn't fucking matter, but, having this story about like, can you like help me get my dad back? Cause I don't know what the hell he did, whatever. And the big fights when you're big giant cat Mario are obviously very fun. And it does take into account how big you are because you do feel a little slower, a little clunkier, but it is what it is when you are at that size. And like you said, with the sort of like level philosophy, you have like this sort of island. It's one big island, but like you only have like this small portion to play around with at first. And then once you get enough cat shines, you unlock the cat bell, and then you defeat Bowser, then you unlock another portion of the island. I really do like that sort of aspect and that aspect of the sort of gameplay, and I am enjoying it so far. I'm only like an hour in, so.
Yeah, it's honestly is like a lot of fun, and again, I thought it would be like pretty not lame, but feel kind of thrown in because I know a lot of the
Hmm.
bonus things they add into these Switch ports aren't great. Like I think the Xenoblade one was really good since it's just acting like an epilogue to Xenoblade. But things like the funky mode or the one in Pikmin 3 with Olimar and Louie were kind of lame. I heard.
Hmm.
So it's kind of nice that Bowser's Fury does feel like a nice addition to 3D World. I don't know if it makes it worth it if you've already played 3D World pretty recently, but
Hmm.
if you haven't played 3D World recently or not at all, I think this is a great value. Honestly, I think I don't really mind paying $60 for both of these at this point. Like I thought it's pretty good value, and I'm pretty criticized of Nintendo. We'll talk about it during the direct about a certain game, but yeah, it's definitely I think it's worth the price. Honestly, I think it's really quality. It's super good. 3D World itself is really great, and yeah, I definitely think it was worth the money in my opinion.
Yeah, if you just want to play Bowser's Fury, I would wait till like a Black Friday sale because
Yeah.
that's pretty much the only time Nintendo discounts, quote unquote, discounts their games, which might be like $10, $20 at most. So yeah, I would definitely wait to either buy this used or wait for a sale or something like that because I'm sure that there are some people out there that bought this just for Bowser's Fury and they're probably already trying to sell it on eBay for a hopefully discounted price and not trying to sell it back for full price. You know what I'm saying? So. Um, But yeah, definitely, Bowser's Fury is a nice addition, sort of like a middle ground between 3D World and Odyssey. And 3D World, I still think is a pretty fun 3D Mario game.
Yes, I still really enjoy 3D World, and it is really good, and you should buy it if you haven't. So yeah, next.